like, this is what Pain's been winning with, so we have no reason to believe that they can't do it a third game in a row. It is still up to Red to break the status quo and to be the ones to make plays and to win this game. They've got to make Pain Gaming uncomfortable. I think they've got a good draft to do it, but let's see how the execution lands.
Yeah, but they have looked very, very comfortable, and Dinketo on this Veigar has been awesome. Power, like delaying power spikes be damned, right? He has still just been able to find kills in the mid game, and he's been so good with the cages as well. Bull going to be on a bit more of a playmaker, right? He was on a carry earlier with the Camille. Wiser actually going to waddle up into the jungle here. Big long leash for Bull. Yeah, Wiser not seeing Bull and saying, I'm going to drop a little ward up there. Looks like he will be clearing top to bottom, whereas Karaoke, going to be doing the opposite. We'll see where he goes. Actually, okay, maybe not. Maybe he's going for that level 3 gank here. Went chickens first.
Yeah, both junglers starting on their red sides. It's sort of the standard jungle clear that we've become accustomed to here in Season 13. And, I see Titan and Scamber getting control of this wave. And you mentioned the tier on Dinketo delaying power spikes. Look, I think you can get away with it in the Cassidy matchup, but we were talking a bit about greed from Pain as far as the scaling goes. I think starting tier against a Taliyah is extremely greedy. This should be at least giving control of the wave to Avenger, and giving control of the wave to a Taliyah is a very dangerous prospect. So we'll see if Red is able to punish that. I would really hope that they can, because I think this is Avenger's game to really shine.
Yeah. No, that we've praised the compositions, but I'm glad you pointed out that mid lane matchup, right? Because this Veigar doesn't really work in isolation. It affects how he's gonna be able to get ahead. Titan solo warding up there and getting not punished at all for it. It was a 3v2 with complete vision of the river, but maybe tracking Aegis and saying, look, he could be showing up here. I think that's exactly what it was, right? Wiser got that ward up of the red buff. He said, look, it's what time is it? It's Aegis is going to be the bot lane time.
Yeah, it is still rough. They lose control of the wave and they lose some HP, so it's not great for Titan, but critically doesn't die, right? And that's obviously what we're really looking at. And it does give Karaoke a window to walk in. I like the way Karaoke's playing this early game. It's been a quiet series, I think, for Karaoke, but this has been the most consistently high-performing jungler here in the CBLOL, having a great split for himself, but could be getting collapsed on.
Oh, baby, yeah, he might be in some trouble here. No Scuttle Crab, no problem. Drops a stealth ward there, not able to be cleared by Karaoke. Damage hovering. Vision on the bot side of the river as well. The kettle might be put on this bottom lane here, Hawk, this time around. It certainly feels that way right now. A flurry of pings coming down.
And quite an investment of time from Karaoke onto the bottom side, looking to get an advantage, but at the end of the day, they actually don't find anything. Red, they're able to force Karaoke out, and now he's just behind in his clear. Even bot lane is actually up in CS for Titan. So, I mean, like, I like the idea from Pain. It's a really standard clear. I thought it was a bit of a mistake from Titan to get chunked out like that, but they don't get punished, and it's a good early start for Red. Look at this. Even Aegis is going to be able to deny the respawn of the Raptors. This is fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, it all worked out. That's the critical thing. And B-Boy blew his cleanse somewhere. Didn't see that. But he does have the call and the dagger there. So he was able to get back to lane with a little bit of an advantage here. Oh, baby, Scamber immediately throwing down the hook. B-Boy able to flash and go over the wall. Damage, now no need to get involved. Scamber doesn't blow the ignite there. Avenger, maybe in a little bit of a trade here. Actually gets the stun there on Dinketo, drops the W down. Someone's going to die here, Hawk. Who's it going to be? Dinketo flashes away, but into a precarious position. Avenger flashes. Oh, he missed the Q. He missed the Q. The W goes down. Is that a blood solo? Both Avenger.
Oh, he flashed the Q and then juked. That was crazy. Avenger able to get it done. Just as we're praising him for having a good series, it's, I think, the first solo bolo of the whole series. Red, that's exactly what they needed.
Man, oh man, that feels good. Now he's gonna come back to lane with a lost chapter. Let's get a better look at this. This belongs on a highlight reel somewhere. This was so entertaining. Yeah.
Dinketo made me yelp with the skill shots. I mean, it was crazy close. And I mean, look at the way Avenger plays this. Dinketo trying to get him in the minions, but forced to flash away. Avenger sees the auto attack animation, thinks it's a Q, so he flashes. It wasn't the Q. Q comes out, still dodges it. Able to get the kill. Well played by Avenger. And all I want to say is I think Dinketo wins that if he has Dorans.
I mean...
Not to be an item Andy or anything, but that's why you don't start tier against Taliyah.
Man, no, but you're exactly right. And look, Avenger, he didn't take any, combat summoners, right? He wasn't looking for the kills, but he's like, look, if you're gonna give it to me, fine, I'll take it. He went with that Doran's ring. Now actually damage getting the with that
Oh,
glacial
nice hook.
augment there. Oh, good hook there by Scamper flashing forward. Titan cleanses out, and with the rockets has a little bit of range to be able to
Jungler's
rain some
here.
damage down. Karaoke is coming. They see him
Here we
though. They
go.
know that Aegis is there. He shows up, right place, right time for two of the best junglers in Brazil. They ward off any further blood.
And even Avenger was hovering down as well with the Weaver's Wall. He's got Dinkato, no flash on the Veigar, but with the cage, going to be able to walk away. Avenger did give up a wave for it, so it does come with a cost for Red, but everybody survives, and critically, Red able to crash this bottom wave. They should be able to take a nice base. Titan is not based the entire game so far, which is a little surprising to me. You'd have to think that's coming through soon as potential play in mid, but with no ult, Dinkato should be fine.
Yeah, he's got 60 CS, fine, no kills, no assists, right? But it's noon quiver time, and I think just looking for a good spot there. And with Aegis hovering, Aegis and Karaoke, even though it's been kind of a quieter early game, aside from that mid game bonanza or that mid lane bonanza, I should say, Aegis and Karaoke have had their work cut out for them. They have been just yanked all over the map.
And it's looked quiet, but they're actually both playing extremely well. I've really liked the way Karaoke has played around the bottom side and made sure Bvoy and Damage are okay. And likewise, I think Aegis has done a great job punishing the time investments from Karaoke as well as hovering his own bottom lane. So it looks quiet, but as a jungle connoisseur, I'm loving watching the chess match between these two. It has been absolutely fascinating, and it's Aegis still continuing to slightly get the better of Karaoke in this early game by picking up a dragon with the help of his bottom lane.
Yeah, was able to grab his chickens early on respawn. Oh, baby. Avenger caught out here, and he will go down. He was playing bodyguard, but he got bodied.
Yeah, I think Avenger just didn't quite expect the damage. Veigar with level 6, you might think of him as a scaling champion, but he can absolutely dunk you if you're not careful. That is the, thank you very much, revenge kill right there. Retribution for Dinkato.
Yeah, and that just feels bad, right? Because like you said, it's like he's got a tier, a ruby crystal, and a mana crystal there in his inventory, but at level 6, right, stacking up his passive.
You almost damage if you let yourself get low. Like,
yeah. No, exactly. It was a good finisher there from Dinkato, and that feels really bad for Avenger, right? Because you worked so hard, you did so well to get that advantage, and it's not like you threw it away necessarily, but because and look, your team got something out of it, right? You had built that advantage up in the first place, but
it's a needless death, right?
Exactly.
Like it's not a death you want to have, so it is still a tough situation to find yourself in.
Karaoke, despite being behind a little bit in, like you said, in CS, does have the edge and experience, apparently, because he's level 6, and Aegis only himself has just hit level 6. Pain up 300 gold, Avenger, getting a deep ward down there. So he's well on his way to, I think, Merc Treads and that, and whatever lost chapter item he decides to go. I imagine it'll be the Ludens there. Up at the top lane, a little bit more of the same here. Bull going that pretty standard Gragas build that we are seeing these days, right? You go the Dorans early. He went first strike, not Comet, for whatever that is worth to anyone watching. Wiser here on the Cassante. Again, there's a champion that we haven't seen all that much. He's really, really popular early on. You saw him a lot in those Jax matchups. But no blood spilled just yet up on the top side. And with a Scuttle Crab advantage there, maybe we'll see something around the Herald in a couple minutes.
And we haven't talked a lot about top lane this series because, it's top lane, right? But, I mean, one of the quiet things this whole series is Wiser has really been getting the better of Bull in the one-on-one throughout. And with Karaoke showing a mid, we could see a potential dive on the bottom. But they do spot him out, so Pain Gaming, they should be fine. But, I mean, having just a consistently winning lane on the top side from Wiser is just a really great advantage to have throughout a best-of-5 series. And even in the tank matchup, it can be very influential in the later stages of the game when team fights have been also important. As we do see a bit of a fight starting out. Members coming. Avenger has the Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, Solar Flare down there immediately on a Titan. I don't know if he didn't have Cleanser, he didn't blow it, but he still got both the Summoners. Dinkato in. Aegis goes right over. Remember, he's invulnerable with that baby cage. Titan left out to dry. And Bvoy, is going to get the kill there. Well played by Pain.
Yeah, well played by Pain. Red, they want to get something going, but they don't exactly have a way in. Titans ends up falling. That's the big carry going down. Now, he still has a CS lead, but getting a kill on a Bvoy. We saw what it could do in game number 1, 4x4. Great play from Pain.
With that Herald, so we're going to get another look at this, right? And Damage just saw, okay, look, I've got 2 homies coming down. He drops the Solar Flare immediately onto Titan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit disrespectful, I think, from Red. They clearly feel safe. They've got their jungler here. They have a Talia with Weaver's Wall. Hey, guys, we're going to be fine. We can walk up. We can get this plate. But, I mean, Leona's got a lot of lockdown, and so does Wukong. The ability to chase you is just immense. And, unfortunately, Titan just wasn't able to get out of that one. It ends up falling.
Yeah, I would like to go back and see whether he had the cleanse or not there. And
That's what I was wondering, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He must not have. I mean, I would have to guess, because otherwise I think it's a mistake not to cleanse out of that one. But
yeah,
I mean,
and a glaring one at that. But I think, yeah, that was maybe just off cooldown. There's your total gold graph on the left there, and you alluded to it. Wiser getting the better of Bull in the one-on-one. Now, to be fair, he's up 2 spots or 3 spots on that, but he's only up 200 gold. But look, ahead is ahead is ahead. Scamber not able to connect
see if
with
we can
the
use
death
it
sentence.
at the Herald here. There's gonna be a fight. Support's on the way. 80 carries in mid.
Wiser throwing down abilities, doesn't go all out just yet. Damage, clearing out those wards. And there will not be a fight.
Again. Red keeps doing this. Red, they did it last game around the second Herald. They start the Herald, and then they get scared off by Pain. Y'all, you have a composition that wants to fight at this stage. I am so surprised that Red is just willing to walk away from that. I mean, I think they had a good setup. I'm shocked 4x4.
Oh, maybe they just want that dragon in response, but that's the timings are a little awkward right now.
Pain's going to be able to base and get back out on the map for this. Like, they're going to be able to fight. I don't know why Red is going to start the Herald like that if they're not willing to fight for it. They knew that Scamber was on the way. Yes, or rather, damage was on the way. Scamber was first, but, I mean, you've got to expect a counter support roam. That is just puzzling to me.
Well, and again, it's some things that we have seen from these early games from Red. It's weird. We've seen 3 different games with 3 varied looks, shall we say, and 1 very different one from Red. But there are a lot of overarching themes that have still come to bear here, and it is Red focusing on early dragons, better, I suppose, at the expense of the Herald. But that Herald's important for a reason, right? When you talk about a tool to accelerate your early game, that's literally what Herald is for.
It's fine to not fight for the Herald if you're getting something else off of it, but the problem is they themselves started the Herald. They themselves forced the issue in that play and then said, never mind, actually, Pain Gaming, you can have this. And now Pain Gaming uses the Herald to get first move into the river. They're going to take both major neutral objectives, and Red's giving them up just completely for free. This is, to be quite honest, ridiculous. You have Vi Talia. Why are we not fighting?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I think if you're a Red Canids fan, you're sitting there, you're frustrated because it's not like, I understand that maybe your mental boomed a little bit down 2-0, but you've still, like you said, drafted yourself the champions to be able to do something about this. And no dice so far. All you're doing is settling for scraps, right? Wiser now going to pull the trigger here onto Bold. Damage lurking in the back. TP's unleashed at the 14-minute mark. There goes, all out. Wiser laying down the hurt onto Bull, but if he gets too close, he might be in trouble here. But Bull trying to buy his team some time. Oh, man, we almost saw a replay of this from last game. Aegis showing up at the right time. I don't think he knew Scamber was up there, but Titan getting himself a lot of gold. I think maybe he got to the tower in time to get some plates, but I don't think he did. It's a damage down there. B-Boy actually hit by the death sentence there, but flexes immediately, and he's got the boys to back him up. Lightning crashes down. Scamber in some trouble. B-Boy, he got caught. It's not, I'm trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with the rest of Pain Gaming. Absolutely awesome timing.
Yeah, Pain was really quick to snap the trap closed on that bottom lane play. Red, they felt safe, but unfortunately they were not. And man, I mean, Pain starting to run away with this one 4x4. It's the same story. 2,000 gold in the lead. They're going to get first brick on the bottom side as well. B-Boy getting damn fed.
It feels bad for me, even as a commentator, because we're saying the same things, right? I mean, I look down and like just these images of these builds at these times and these break points are exactly the same here. Despite compositional differences from Red, they've shown some variance, and they made the change that I wanted to see, right? I was calling for, look, go a little more late game, right? And Avenger, look, have himself a good series, man. He got the solo bolo, right? But it just feels like the rest of it is not happening here, and you're seeing Red
I
make
mean,
more mistakes as the series goes on.
it just feels like Red's confidence is shattered at this
Yeah.
point. That's the only thing that I can think of. I mean, look, it's a nice hook, but just completely disrespectful of anything else happening on the map. Our mid laners in base, our junglers top lane, and Pain are really quick to answer this and pick up the kills.
Yeah, call it confidence shatter, right? Mental boom. They do get this mid or bot lane tier 1, excuse me. Now Jinketo and Avenger, they're doing mid laner things in the side lanes.
Another solo top tower. This happened in game number 1 as well for Weiser. Just so strong, man. This top laner is a beast.
It's a shame. It's a shame because right now it just feels like, again, Pain are going to just slow play this out and just suffocate you, right? Like you said, there's no outscaling a Zeri or a Veigar, but Red have some of the tools to do it. But this is the first time it feels like, okay, you know, again, we've been in almost this exact situation for 2 games in a row. And in this third one, you're not able to look down and say, hey, but Titan.
Yeah. And Pain Gaming, I mean, credit to them playing this out so well. You know, Red, they're not really challenging Pain, and Pain is not making mistakes to give an advantage over. They're playing a nice and clean game, and Red, they're sitting there waiting. They're hoping that moment arises, but Pain, they've been so consistently able to not give it to them. That's what's made us say that Pain Gaming is the best team, the hottest team in CBLOL right now, is their ability to consistently just slow play the game, not coin flip everything in the way that maybe CBLOL likes to sometimes. So, I mean, it's a great look. It's a great look from a team that we've been hyping up so much. It's just unfortunate to see Red not really challenge them in any way, shape, or form in this early game, though.
Yeah, and the challenges that they have made, you know, like that hook, right, was, like you said, just kind of a little disrespectful as far as, like, you don't know what's happening on the rest of the map. Oh, it's been quiet down here, right? That's the fatal flaw always is, oh, it's been quiet down here. It's been quiet down here for a long time. We're probably safe. No. If it's been quiet for a long time, that means you're in more danger. The odds go up that you are going to get collapsed on. These are just low percentage plays that as a pro player you can't be making, right? And look, you're still got a lower bracket run. Again, if Red do indeed go down here or in the next 3 games at all once, so they would play Furia if they go down there. But even against a team like Furia, I still worry.
Furia is looking hot, so
yeah.
I would not want to play them. But Fighter on Herald.
Gamber get a really nice hook there on Jinketo, but another stopwatch for the Pain Gaming mid laner is doing the same thing it's done all series, buying his team time, and there go the rest of it. Karaoke is down. Weiser able to take down Aegis. B-Boy untouched in the back line. Red fighting a war on 2 fronts here. Weiser is going all out. He's got so much damage in that kit. Titan is safe, throwing down rockets from downtown. Shut down for Avenger. And now they've got the hurt onto Weiser. He gets the damage onto Bull, but Titan is untouched in the second half. And Red claw back into this one with a successful fight, as scrappy as it was.
All right, 4x4, maybe we should hold our horses just a little bit. I know you were saying that they don't have Titan to fall back on this game, but that was a beautiful team fight from the AD carry of the Red Canids, and Weiser did his damn best as we take a look at this one more time, but unfortunately, this Jinx pick is looking pretty good. Red, they get the initial pick and a reset for Titan, and the positioning is actually fantastic in this one, able to get back into the backline, chase off Weiser, and from this point, it looks really difficult. Weiser corralling them between everybody else, but look at the AoE that Titan is able to throw out on the 3-man unit on the other side of the fight. Pain suddenly not able to walk forward. Another reset comes through, and Titan cleans up the fight.
And that moment right there, right when Titan was getting collapsed on, was like, well, if I go this way, I'm screwed. If I go this way, I'm screwed, right? But he was able to just kind of weasel himself around, right, Weiser's melee range, and the rest of his team as well, right? Bull and Avenger were keeping Weiser off him, took that down, and allowed Titan to stay untouched, because that could have gone sideways. That little inflection point was, I thought that was curtains for Titan, just caught between a rock and a hard place, and that position right there physically is the worst position as an ADC. It's not where you want to find yourself. Avenger taking a whole lot of damage there from Jinketo and B-Boy. Thought we were going to get another fight pretty much immediately. Red do walk away with their second dragon of the game, the third dragon of the game. It'll be Ocean Soul to be fought for in a minimum 9 minutes here. So Red down 3,000, but down 2 towers. They are not out of the woods yet. That was huge, and it proved, like we said, that I think I was a little too quick to say, you know what, look, when what I meant by what I said was, Titan obviously is going to be able to impact this game. He's Jinx, right? If he just lays untouched, like you
No,
said,
but
with
I
the
mean, I
resets,
know what you're saying. He was far behind, and
Yeah.
and that was the sentiment for sure. Just, I mean, Titan from behind though, having a good fight like that. That is why I had Titan as one of my top 80 carries in the league. Is because of his ability to do this, and Red just relies on him so much. Backs against the wall.
Mhm.
Titan, now's your time to step up. Now's your time to prove that you can bring your team over the hump and try to challenge Pain Gaming, a Pain Gaming that has looked so rock solid all split, or at least recently. I mean, this is going to be battle of the 80 carries 4x4 because I'm sitting here talking about Titan, but let's look at B-Voy for a second. 203 has
Yeah.
the double lifesteal items online. This is going to be a very, very powerful Zeri. And with the cleanse and all those shields as well, going to be difficult to take down.
Yeah, so many defensives working in her favor. And if they are able to slam these dragons, right, that's going to be, in theory, at its ceiling, 3 more ocean dragons plus the soul. So it's going to be so much harder to kill that Zeri. Not that she, again, with all the mobility tools in her kit, not that she needs that necessarily, but it just makes it that much more frustrating to deal with. Arguably the most frustrating AD carry in the history of League of Legends.
Yeah, she's definitely a 200 years type champion. I think it's fair to say, with her dashing all over the place and her movement speed ramping, and that's why the pros love her so much.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no greater statistic than mobility in pro play. The ability to outplay and maneuver in fights is just, especially as an AD carry, is so incredibly impactful. And I mean, there's a reason why B-Voy insta-lock slammed it on B1, right? So confident to pull out this champion, which I thought it was interesting that B-Voy actually was winless on the Zeri until this series. So far, this split clearly has been putting in the practice tool hours on that one, the scrim bucks. I don't know, but has looked fantastic on it in this playoff match. And I mean, being able to add that one confidently to the champion pool is going to be great for Pain going forward.
Yeah, and maybe it's just Aegis, he's in some trouble. The baby cage go down. Oh man, it's gonna hit him just barely, but with the tenacity, able to actually escape that one, escape the W. That was alarming how little he was locked up for.
Yeah, that is a lot of tenacity. I also am just looking at Aegis's build, and ironically didn't go for the Black Cleaver against the Cassante and the Leona. Instead went for the Divine Sunderer this time around, clearly thinking the team needs some damage. I disagree with that one. I think the Black Cleaver Radiant Virtue would have been the move, but I mean, Aegis gonna want to pump some stuff out. Maybe go for the one shot onto B-Voy through all those shields, which I can definitely see the angle. And I mean, these teams are just A-ramming. Is this North America? Is this my home region? What are we doing, guys? We're standing at each other, staring at each other in front of the Baron with nothing else to fight for. Now, Dragon in a minute, that's probably going to be a place where the teams want to fight, but I mean, it's just been a lot of posturing for the last few.
And Red operating with a confidence that they certainly haven't had this game, right? Certainly haven't had, aside from Avenger. Again, you got that feels like an eternity ago. That feels like it was in a different game because it has been so pain-sided since then, really. Red, look, they're still down, 2 kills, 3,000 gold, 2 towers, and more critically, 2-0 in this series. Waiting on a couple more mythic spikes, I guess. Scamber grabbing himself a Shirelia's. And that Dragon up in 30 seconds, like you pointed out. Baron up, not going to really be messed with at the 25-minute mark, barring Disaster. Speaking of Disaster, Avenger is caught out. Karaoke with a nice heads-up play up in the top lane.
Yeah, and that might spell disaster because Pain Gaming, they're going to be onto the Baron. You've got to fight this one 4v5, Red. Eyes on Titan, eyes on Aegis. Maybe Aegis can steal the Baron. Maybe Titan can get a big play, but he's still running back from base, and the Baron's going down so fast, down to 6,000.
It's getting shredded. Titan showing up to the fight here. If he can launch an ultimate, maybe. Scamber caught in the baby cage. He flashes away. He was clearing some vision down at the river. Over the wall goes Aegis. Here we go. Lantern down, but Karaoke. He did. Oh, it was Bull. Excuse me. It was Bull. They swiped it. He got it with a cask. He got it with a barrel. Scamber will pay the iron price, but wow. Fantastic. He juked me.
Red actually got the Baron. Pain Gaming, they finally get punished. That is the one thing this series, they've been a little flippy on their objectives. And Red, what a play. I want to see that one in super slow motion because Bull, of all people, was the one to get the Baron. And it's a new lease on life for the Red Canids.
Man, did they need that. in game 3. It's been little things that they've been able to get these advantages on. And yes, Pain responded with the second dragon, but it's still 2-2, right? Red, they did their homework in the early game as far as the objectives. And even after Avenger got caught out, like you said, Hawk, it was spelling disaster, but Aegis went over the wall with the Baron at 3,000. Bull took care of the rest.
Yeah, so, I mean, Aegis just goes in and I mean, it was just an early smite from Aegis, and the Baron got one-shot so quickly that nothing ever went down from either of the smites, the Spellbook smite or Karaoke's. I mean, that it just got bursted. It got bursted too fast. They weren't expecting the damage. I mean, wow, really well played by Red to actually be able to get that Baron and burst that one out, because I thought Aegis was dead to the rights. And now with priority over the Dragon, Red, they actually, I think for the first time this series, feel like they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Yeah, I mean, there were maybe a couple moments in the early to mid game last game, but even that driver's seat is a strong word. So yeah, as I talk myself out of my own point, you are absolutely correct, Hawk. It does feel like they are very much in control here. They only have, I think, the Baron on, I think it's just Aegis and Bull. So the Avenger was down, right? Scamber, I think, was taken down as well. Maybe does Titan have it as well, actually?
Titan should have it. Titan should have it. Avenger, I think, was up in time. I think everybody except for Scamber should have the Baron. And now we got to look at what is Red able to get. Getting the Baron was great. It's going to put a delay on the game. It's a nice influx of gold, but you've still got to be able to get an advantage off of this. You need to get some towers. This mid-tier 1 is the one I'm really looking at. If they can take that down and look to push the tempo of this game, that will allow them to play on longer lanes and force Pain Gaming into more difficult situations. You can't play too slow, too respectfully, Red. And let's see what they're able to do.
And like you said, there's a position they haven't really found themselves in, right? There's no playbook as far as this series. What do you do against Pain Gaming?
Bring your members. They want it. They want this tower. Pain's going to try to defend. We might see a fight.
Solar Flare goes down. Scamber with the defensive hook and lantern as well. He had everything. Just his fingers on QW ready once that Solar Flare went down. It only got the outside of the ring there, right? So there wasn't enough for kind of the follow-up EQ. Even if that did land, maybe that was a fight that they didn't want to take. Titan is on
Baron's
2.5 items. Wiser looking for an angle. Damage. He's
go.
completely far away from the fight. Scamber popped the Shirelias. I thought maybe that would have been it on a 5v4. Maybe they just have no idea where Scamber is. They don't know that he's in kind of a tough position with no ult as well. Oh, man.
Yeah, Red, they're just so respectful again. It was a really great disengage away from Damage's engage. I like the way they played that. But then, unfortunately, the Baron fell off. Pain knew that was the last wave of Baron, and Red, they're not able to get anything. So it does just end up being that influx of gold off the Baron. And again, like, it's still good. They could have lost the game if Pain got Baron, but not being able to take any sort of substantial advantage just means we're back to another slow game state. And Red, they still look afraid to pull the trigger on a game-changing play.
And that might be what bites him in the behind, right? Because this is a composition that Pain has executed now, on the 2.5 games in a row. And you found your successes when you have been able to get those picks and get those fights. Not that you need to quite as much just in the late game, but it isn't really about that. I think the point you're making is, look, you swiped that Baron away, and you were able to get anything done with that. That was an opportunity to really, for the first time all series, put your foot on the neck of Pain and create substantial pressure against this team that is so pressure-proof, right? That's what we've been talking about all the second half of the split. It's been on just crystalline, perfect display here in this series as well. Wiser doing his thing in the side lane now as we get well into the mid and late game. He's got his TP. Bull does as well. So, again, opting to play into those longer lanes. Wiser doing his thing on the other side. He's at 2 items. And now Titan on 3. He is matching his opposite side AD carry well. Both teams recognizing that this is going to get spicy really quick. There's that Black Cleaver that Aegis did eventually pick up.
Yeah, glad Aegis picked up that Black Cleaver finally. I think that's a good shout. Avenger should be fine.
He got Solar Flared immediately here. Now Aegis going forward. Actually, good damage there from Avenger. Scamber popping the Shirelias. Gets the hook there onto Wiser. But he's able to counter it, I guess, with...
He'll get Dragon.
They've got Prio on it for certain.
Yeah, Red should be able to just fog back down to bottom and get the dragon. I don't think Pain has any way to walk in with damage and base. He's going to be running out now. Baron spawning in 15 seconds, though. This is going to get interesting. Red needs to burn this dragon down. They'll get the soul point and then get over to the Baron. We saw how much damage Pain was able to do it before. They're going towards it, spawning in 10 seconds. Let's see where Red allocates their members.
They're putting all of them, all the important ones, all the damage dealing ones into that Ocean Dragon. Again, that's soul point. In 5 minutes, we're gonna have
TP from Weiser. He got the gargoyle with stone plate. It's going to be a 5v5. Look at Karaoke's position. He's not in the pit. Pain Gaming wants to play for a turn. Wukong's gonna try to come in from behind. Flashes available on everybody except for Avenger. Look at them to take out this Talia.
It's exactly what they want. Big damage onto Avenger and Scammer. Karaoke's got that flank in. The Solar Flare comes down. Baby Cage gonna zone bull out of the fight. Karaoke is down though. Aegis is huge. He's Brevoy over the wall, 2 shutdowns with Titan down. We've seen this 10,000 times. Red don't have a prayer. They opt into that fight. Karaoke is the sacrificial lamb, but he helps get it done.
What gorgeous setup from Pain Gaming, though. Karaoke on the flank gets on the Titan, and it was none other than B-Boy. Look at that damage number right there. Going in, getting the double. Pain Gaming, they're looking to clean up the series 3-0.
Phenomenal setup. Like you said, they knew they surrounded like this U shape, right? With damage on one side, Karaoke on the other, and everybody else in the river. Red is sitting there going, where's it going to come from? And they collapsed on the same time, right? They chained the CC really nicely as well. Karaoke, I want to get another look at that, because even though he did go down, like you were saying, the setup was perfect and the execution was awesome. There he goes. Yeah, Titan just isolated.
Yeah, and I want to give Red a lot of credit. They actually did a great job trying to disengage Titan right here, but there's just way too much rundown. We talked about it way earlier in the game. Leona, Wukong, Zeri, all piling on top of you. How the hell are you supposed to get away from those champions? And it's B-Boy, rather, of all people, that just gets in there, does the damage, the confidence on the Zeri. That seems to be the biggest difference between Pain Gaming and Red this series is confidence, and man, you can see it right there in that fight from B-Boy and from the rest of Pain as they take a massive advantage. Now, they only took the inhibitor. They didn't go for the Baron. I do think that is a mistake from Pain. It does leave the Nash on the map. Let's see if Red is able to make some magic and turn this game around once again.
Titan, no cleanse, no flash. Bull has his flash, but that's kind of it here, right? Avenger's got his cleanse, and just a lot more useful summoners on the side of Pain Gaming, and a lot more useful ultimates as well. Red do have all of theirs. You can see Aegis just fishing for some sort of pick, fishing for something. But little by little, Pain, like a plague, slowly encroaching into the territory of Red Canids. Backs against the wall now. Down 2-0 in the
Dean
series.
Cato, by the way, has some of the latest fashion if you look at his inventory. A nice hat for the Veigar. It's going to be very scary.
Purple is the color of royalty. And he's certainly looking like a king right now. We haven't talked about him much at this game as opposed to kind of the last two. But with that death cap now and with the rod stacked up, the Seraphs online, he's going to hit like a freaking truck. You are going to see some health bars disappear faster than you thought possible. You're going to hear us make some noises as well if that happens.
And B-Boy with 3 items as well. I mean, the carries are here. Pain Gaming, their scalings come online. This is exactly why I was critical of Red's refusal to fight in the earlier stages of the game, because now you're facing off against a Veigar and a Zeri with everything. But Titan has 3 items as well. He still could be the hero that Red Canids need. Pain Gaming, they're onto the Baron. The setup not quite as good this time. Karaoke is still on the flank. Baron down to 8,000. Red taking control of the river.
Another baby cage down from Dinketo. Avenger trying to throw some pebbles into the pit. Aegis is on a ward, but everyone knows that he's there. Everyone knows that he's looking for something. Karaoke has looped to the complete opposite side of the fight.
Red has no idea.
No, he's in complete fog of war. You're exactly right,
They know now. They know now.
Yep, they know now. This fight is starting. Solar Flare down as well. Down Titan, taken out of it immediately. This one's over. Without Titan, they don't have a prayer. You don't even need me to... Oh, my goodness. Wait, hold up. Am I about to look really dumb here? Karaoke in. B-Boy is enough. He gets it done there. Red wiped off the map. When Titan goes down, again, it's just too easy for them. Cassante, Leona, it's just too much.
That is why Karaoke was the first team All-Pro jungler right there, my friend. Look at the moves from Karaoke. They lay the trap, and B-Boy, man, in 1v5 over the wall with the Zeri. Confidence once again. Pain Gaming take down the Red Canids 3-0.
For the first time in the organization's history, Pain Gaming beat Red in a best of 5. And they are moving on to the winners finals, to the grand semifinals. They dispatch Red with the ease that we expected. We said maybe Red's going to be able to take a game, and at flashes, at points, it looked like they might have been able to. But Pain, there was no big it moment from them, right? Any mistakes that were punished by them, and they weren't even like mistakes